Alrighty, you guys, I'm going to take 5 minutes out of your day today to explain to you guys a very simple and basic penny stock swing trading strategy that I think is very easy and very simple to follow, although that goes without saying that this is not going to be an end-all be-all strategy. This does require some work on your part, and what I mean by that is going to be gathering data. I think gathering data is underestimated and really not emphasized as much as I would like to see, but this is an example of me gathering data. For example, all the trades that I took, I look at the volume, I look at the moving averages, I look at the elephant candle close at around 80%. So what this means is the size of the body of the candle. I want it to close as much as it can to the high, so in this case it was an 80% close, it would be good. In this second case, 95% close, that's a great one, and in this case it was a 55%, so this is a really horrible thing right here. I don't know why this is great, but it should say poor. And other things that I look for example, is did it have a prior range or prior resistance? Was it broken or was it not? For example, this right here, prior downtrend, weak resistance, it didn't even break that weak resistance, so this would be poor. Even though I had a really nice volume, because of these reasons it's just a poor setup here. So these are things that I gather, and just to see what works and what doesn't, you can use this data, plug it into ChatGPT or whatever your AI is, and ask it for some information, and it'll give you some other information as well. So for example, I learned that after the 5th day of the aggressive elephant candle, ChatGPT pretty much analyzed the data and said that after the 5th day, that's typically when the trade dies off and there's pretty much no potential anymore for a continuation. So that would be a time stop loss, something that I hadn't thought about, but I only realized after gathering that data. So that's why it's important to gather data, use that data to your advantage, and really sharpen your edge. So again, this is not going to be an end all be all strategy. Maybe you're lost, confused, whatever the case may be, you have no trading system. This is definitely going to serve as a solid foundation to get started and really get the ball rolling for you guys. And hopefully you do as I said and gather some data and then adjust your system in accordance with that data and be profitable at the end of the year or whatever the case may be. With that being said, I'm going to go over initially what I do in terms of scanning for these stocks. So I am using Webull here as a platform. It does have a pre-built system here where it scans for stocks. So first one on the list, we do have VERO. It is a 580% gainer today. Really nice candle here that is forming, although I would want this to close a little bit higher. But even then, it is a $10 stock, so definitely don't really want to be messing with this. I am ideally looking for stocks trading below $10. Like this one right here, this is a $1.23 stock here, really cheap stock here. This one definitely has a potential to gain another 100% the next day here, although in terms of the technicals, it is not looking good. We are in a downtrend. It is a red candle reversal bar as well, so definitely not one that I want to be trading. Jaguar here, nice candle actually, although I would want this to close a little bit higher, like around the 1.75 area. That would be above this little resistance here. It is in a slight downtrend, but it definitely is not as aggressive as the previous one, so this is one that I would keep my eye on, although I would just require it to close a little bit above like 1.75, 1.7. That would be really good right there, and it would look really nice at that point. We do have some nice volume here, so that's also another thing that we're looking for. Next one on the list, LCFY. This is a red candle, so not looking good at all. TNL is looking pretty decent. I would want this candle to close a little bit higher. PRFX, another decent one here, although I do want these candles to close higher. These candles have to close at least around the 85% mark from their high, so right now it's not looking good at all. In fact, this is what you want to avoid. You don't want to be trading these things that are barely even making it to the 50% mark. You really want to try to aim for the 80% mark. That would really classify the candle as an elephant bar. Next one, CGTL. CGTL has been it's been trending for a couple of days now, so definitely not one that I want to be trading today. GCSC, another one that's been trending for a couple of days now, so I think it's already done its work. Not only that, but I mean, look at the volume. Volume is pretty much dead at this point. I did have some good volume right here. I think I actually did trade this actually, as a matter of fact, and it was a profitable trade, but at this point definitely out of my radar. So I'm going to go over these really quickly. BIYA, nothing good. This one has been trading for too long already. I actually entered this one TYGO, so we are making money. I think it's like around a 35% return at this point. This is actually a decent one, so definitely one to consider at the end of the day. So what you do is you take your watch list here. You'll probably gather around 3 every single day out of the top gainers, and what you'll do is just simply watch them and wait till the end of the day. Once it's already nearing like 10 minutes before the market closes, you do want to take your trades at that point at around 12:30, and I am Pacific Standard Time here, so that's roughly 30 minutes before the market closes. That'd be the earliest you would want to take these trades, simply because I mean, as of right now, this candle is looking like an elephant candle, and it could be looking like that 30 minutes before the market closes. But what about in the last 5 minutes? It probably it has a potential to come down. So yeah, so we only found like a couple of them here. Again, after you've gone over them, you'll probably come around 3 of them that are actually solid. So you take a trade at the end of the day, you place your stop loss at around the 50% mark of the elephant candle. So in this case, it would be somewhere around right here. Not a hard stop loss, just a mental stop loss. The next candle we need to close below that 50% mark. So tomorrow or on Monday, in my case, in the last 5 minutes of the day, if the candle is closing closing below the 50% mark of the previous body of the candle, you would need to take your loss at that point. But in this case, it was a good one, so we are already up like 30% right now, looking pretty good. All right, so now let's go over the prime example of this setup here that I am trading. So the elephant candle here is this one right here, the entry bar. We do have some prior resistance, which is broken, which is good. Explosive volume down here, another criteria that we're looking for when we're trading these. And you enter long at the elephant explosive candle, again, the last 5 minutes of the day. Stop loss will be around the 50% mark of the body, so it'd be somewhere around right here. First opportunity to exit, what I'm looking for is 100% return. So the stock will need to move up 100% from your entry, and then you exit 50% of your position, because of course you do want to leave an extra 50% in case it does run up some more. In this case, it didn't run up anymore, it just kind of went sideways right here. So in order to avoid losing any more money or giving up money that you've already made, you do want to have some form of trailing profit method, which in this case would be a reversal bar. So we have a red arrow here pointing at a reversal bar. This is pretty much a topping tail, what you would call it. You would exit full position after this, after some sort of a reversal bar appears, like in this case it was a topping tail. And if you still didn't exit, maybe you didn't like that, maybe you can't even read candlesticks, well, the next opportunity to exit would have been at this black candle here, which closed below the 10 simple moving average. So that's another opportunity. But for whatever reason you didn't exit out at any of those opportunities, you simply need to exit out. You already broke your rules, by the way, but no matter what, you need to exit out at the 20 simple moving average. If you don't, well, the odds are simply stacked against you. And this stock, I'm pretty sure this stock continued to move down all the way down here back to your stop loss. So you have to take your loss no matter what. Well, actually, you need to take your loss no matter what at the first crossover of the 10 simple moving average. But if you didn't, you need to take your loss at the cross of the 20 simple moving average. And even in this worst scenario that you broke your rules and you took your loss over here, you would have still been looking at a decent profit, probably 20-30% return there. So definitely a prime setup right here. Take a screenshot of this if you are going to trade this system and just use it for reference. But besides that, I mean, one thing I would want to put emphasis on is the size of the body of the candle, also huge, closing at around the 80% mark of the from the high. So that's really what you want to see. But besides that, that's pretty much it. Here's a summary of the strategy here. Again, this should just serve as a foundation. Over time, you will need to add new rules, maybe new criteria as well. So yeah, with that being said, I do offer an apprenticeship here. So for whatever reason you didn't understand any of that, you could just reach out to me and I'll gladly help you guys out. Maybe you have your own strategy too, so you can send that to me. I'll analyze it and I'll make sure that there isn't any holes present. And if there isn't, we'll proceed with that strategy. You'll trade the system, and as the days go by, you'll send me your trades. I'll analyze the trades, and if there's anything wrong with them, I'll let you know what you need to work on, what you need to change, and simply just guide you. So you may be asking, why is there free? Well, I simply want to just gain experience in teaching. It's that simple. I also do offer a second strategy here, which is a breakout strategy, and that goes without saying that I do have a watch list here as well. So for the elephant bar, as you can see here, I took 3 trades yesterday, one of them being the 30% gainer, which is the Taigo trade. So with that being said, I hope you actually understood that strategy. And again, if not, just go ahead and join, reach out to me, and I'll gladly reach out back. With that being said, I'm going to end it right there. I do have a pretty nice profit right here that we entered at this aggressive candle here. This is an example of what I'm holding right now. It already did give me 100% return, but I didn't take out my profit. I could have. Maybe something to learn is that just set limit orders at your profit target. Again, this is something that is definitely going to be needed to work on over time. But this is one that I am holding a 50% gainer as of right now. So I'm going to end it right there, you guys. Go ahead and join the Discord, or leave a like right now, comment and subscribe. Stay focused, you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.